Welcome to topic number 9. This is magnetic field due to current carrying conductor in a circular loop and force on a current carrying conductor due to magnetic field. So the objective of today's class is to draw magnetic field lines around a circular current carrying wire and a solenoid. Then we'll be identifying the force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field. So when a current carrying conductor is placed in a magnetic field, is it experiencing a force or not, that we'll explain. And then lastly we'll quickly estimate the magnetic field by using what we call is the Fleming's left hand rule. Now in the previous class you have already seen the magnetic field lines in a straight current carrying conductor. What if the straight wire is bent in a circular loop? Like earlier we have seen how is the magnetic field due to a straight wire. We have seen that in a straight conducting wire the field lines are circular. Now if I bend this wire, if I change the shape and put this into a circular form and pass the current through this, so what happens to the magnetic field lines? What is the nature of the magnetic field lines that we are going to discuss today. Without doing the experiment, if you have understood the right hand thumb rule, it is possible for us to identify what will be the magnetic field lines due to a circular wire. If you look at it, we have seen that like in this circular wire the current is passing through this. This is the path of the current. So if you take a small segment of the wire, this is the wire. So if you apply the right hand thumb rule, you find that the magnetic field lines are like this. If you see this, they are clockwise because the current is flowing like this. Similarly, if you see here, now the direction of current is like this. So if you see here, the magnetic field lines due to a small segment of wire is anti-clockwise. You also know that as we move away from the wire, the magnetic field strength reduces. So if you see this, as you move away from this segment, the radius of the circle, the arc of the this thing is increasing. You see this? This will increase like this. So that means if you come at the center of this circular wire, the magnetic field lines are straight. You see, it will be straight. And the secondly, each part like this, each part of the circular wire will contribute inside the wire in the same way. So the magnetic field lines, because of a circular wire, will look something like this. So it will start from the south and north. So inside the magnetic field lines are like a bar magnet. So this is what we are going to see by the activity. So as you approach near the center, the magnetic field produced by a current carrying conductor at a given point is directly proportional to the current flowing through it. Okay, so if we increase the number of lines, like in the previous slide, we saw the magnetic field due to only one circular wire. Now if you increase the number of turns, like if you make a coil of n number of turns, so the magnetic field also will become n times because each circular wire will contribute to the magnetic field. So if n number of turns are there, you will find that the magnetic field also will increase. So this we are going to demonstrate through the activity. So what we will be doing is we will take a circular wire of maybe 15 turns and we'll pass a current through this. So you will see that I will sprinkle iron fillings, and you see how the iron fillings are getting aligned. And if we change the direction of current, again you find the magnetic field lines will reverse, that we have already seen. So let us see what happens, how the magnetic field lines look like. If you see this, the magnetic field lines are circular. As you come closer in the center, they will be straight. So let us go and see this activity. Okay, now here the circuit, we have got a battery eliminator. So we'll be connecting, this is a switch, and now we have connected a meter which will give you the current. So the positive of the battery eliminator is connected to the ammeter, and this is connected to the this circular coil. Okay, so it has got around 15 turns, and now we'll sprinkle the iron fillings. Is already there. Some more will sprinkle on this, and see what happens. So you have to watch carefully when the current starts flowing, how the iron fillings get aligned. So they will give you the magnetic field lines. What is the direction of magnetic field due to circular loop? So okay, here we go. Now you see the important thing is you should not switch on for a long time, because the current flowing is very high and it will get heated up. So I'll do it for a very short duration of time. So watch it carefully how the fillings are getting aligned. Did you see this? Okay, I'll do it once again. You see the current. Okay, see the current is very high and it has got a circular pattern. So this gives the magnetic field lines how they are getting aligned. Iron fillings are getting aligned, so they give you the magnetic field lines inside the circular loop. Okay, let me repeat. What did you see in the lab? We had the circular loop and the current was flowing through this, and we saw the magnetic field lines here. You see the magnetic field lines, they are in a particular direction. They are forming a circle, and this circle is anti-clockwise, and this side, if you see this is clockwise. So the magnetic field lines are going like this. So it is like a magnetic field lines created by a circular loop is like a magnetic field created by a bar magnet. So this is how we get the magnetic lines of force. Now, okay, once we have seen the magnetic field lines due to a circular loop, we'll find out the magnetic field lines because of the solenoid. So what is a solenoid? It is a coil of many turns of insulated copper wire. Insulated copper wire is a normal copper wire, but it is insulated. So if you want to make a connection to a insulated copper wire, you have to remove the insulation at the end. And this it has got, the solenoid has got a number of turns, and the spacing between each turn is very less. So this is called the solenoid. Here the solenoid is shown. So when the current is passing, you find that the magnetic field lines are like a bar magnet, which I told you. Like if you see the bar magnet, you have got the north pole and south pole. So how the magnetic field lines in a bar magnet are, they start inside the bar magnet from south to north. Otherwise they emerge from the north and merge at the south pole. Exactly the same thing happens in the solenoid. You see this becomes the south pole and this becomes the north pole. So the copper wire, the winding is done in a form of a cylinder. So one end of the solenoid behaves like a north pole, while the other behaves like a south pole. So inside the solenoid, the magnetic field lines are constant. Okay, inside, and they are straight parallel lines. Inside this is a straight parallel line like a bar magnet. This indicates that the magnetic field is same at all the points inside the solenoid. So all the points, if the number of turns is more, you find that the magnetic field inside the solenoid is same everywhere. Everywhere the magnetic field is constant and it is uniform inside the solenoid. So what happens, because the magnetic field inside the solenoid is strong, if you put a magnetic material like a soft iron inside the solenoid, okay, as now this is the magnetic soft iron core, so this produces what we call as the electromagnet, which you have already seen in your previous section, if in your previous grades. So this is the electromagnet. So the solenoid can be converted into a electromagnet by inserting a soft iron core. So the solenoid is not electromagnet, it becomes electromagnet only when the a soft iron core is inserted. And you have already know what are the various application of electromagnet. And now the next activity was what I am going to demonstrate to you is force on a current carrying conductor when it is placed in a magnetic field. So why there should be a force? Like if I put a current carrying conductor near a magnetic field, why a force works on the wire? Because you have already seen a current carrying conductor it generates a magnetic field. So the magnetic field generated by the current carrying conductor and the other magnet both will interact. So you know that the similar poles repel each other and the opposite poles attract each other. So for this activity what I am going to do is you will take an aluminum rod, this rod, and will pass a current through this, and we'll put a magnet. We can put this is called the a super magnet. So we can put a magnet, and you find that this is the north pole and south pole. So the magnetic field is from north pole to south pole to north pole. So the direction of the magnetic field is perpendicular to the this aluminum rod, and will be passing the current like this, and this is the vertical magnetic field. Now you will find that this aluminum rod will get deflected. It will deflect one side, and when I change either the current or the direction of the magnetic field, it will reverse. So the deflection, the force will reverse. So let us go and see this activity in the lab. Okay, here is the circuit diagram, circuit arrangement. So we have got a power supply, battery eliminator. Now this battery eliminator is connected to the ammeter, which will be measuring the current, how much is the current flowing through this aluminum rod. This is the aluminum rod. So initially the current will be flowing in this direction, and in place of horseshoe magnet I am using a ring magnet. So the magnetic field due to ring magnet is like a bar magnet. So the magnetic field is perpendicular to the aluminum rod. So the current will be flowing in this direction, and the magnetic field will be perpendicular. And you carefully see the deflection of the aluminum rod. And the next I will reverse the direction of the magnetic field. So I will reverse this ring magnet, and you will find that the deflection of this aluminum rod is in the opposite direction. That means the force working on the current carrying conductor is in the opposite direction. So the force will get reversed. So that can be done either by changing the current through this wire, or by changing the magnetic field by reversing the ring magnet. So let us see the thing. So I'll just give a supply, and you see how the aluminum rod is deflecting. So here we go. You see the deflection. Watch again. Okay, now I am going to reverse the magnetic field because of the magnet. You see now the north pole has become south pole, and south pole it has been reversed. Now you watch the deflection of the aluminum rod. You see this is going in the opposite direction. That means the force working the direction of the force has changed. So same thing will happen if I change the direction of current. So see once again. See this, see the current, how much is the current flowing? So the current flowing, and you see this. So it is coming back to the original position. So let us summarize today's activity, what we have done. So you have already seen, okay, so why does the rod gets displaced? What is the reason? So reason is a force is exerted on the current carrying aluminum conductor when placed in a magnetic field, and the direction of the force is reverse if the current through the wire is reverse. When direction of the magnetic field is reverse, force is also reverse. So I demonstrated you this activity, and same thing happens if I change the direction of current through the aluminum wire, and the force is largest. This is very important. So the force is largest when the direction of current is at 90 degree to the direction of magnetic field. So when they are perpendicular, the magnetic field and the current both are perpendicular, then the force is maximum. And if they are parallel, magnetic field and the current carrying conductor both are parallel, then the force is zero. No force will be exerted. So this whole thing can be summarized by what we call is the Fleming's left hand rule. So Fleming's left hand rule means you take your left hand, okay, this is your left hand, and at this points you got the thumb, first finger and the second finger. So if the current is, okay, assume that the current is flowing through the second finger. Okay, the second finger you take the C from the second finger, first finger F represents the field. So first finger is the field and this is the direction of current. So the direction of force, your thumb will represent the direction of force or direction of motion. So you see the force is perpendicular to both this. This is the direction of current, this is the direction of magnetic field. So the force is perpendicular to this and this. So it is, thumb is indicating the direction of force. So this is called the Fleming's left hand rule. So if the current is in this direction and the field is in this direction, so the motion will be perpendicular to this. So this is called the Fleming's left hand rule. So take M for motion, thumb, M for motion, first finger field and the second finger C for current. So it is very easy for a given problem in your CBSE exam. You can find out okay, what is the direction of force working on a current carrying conductor. So always use the Fleming's left hand rule, thumb, M for motion, first finger for field and the second finger for current. So this is called Fleming's left hand rule. So with that we have finished this topic. So the next topic will be topic number 10, and we'll be discussing electric motor and electromagnetic induction. Thank you. See you in the next class.